This gives promise of someday providing a means for even more exciting and ambitious exploration of space, perhaps beyond the moon, perhaps to the very end of the solar system itself. All of you have lived through the last 4 years and have seen the significance of space and the adventures in space. And no one can predict with certainty what the ultimate meaning will be of mastery of space, of scientific and technical manpower, material and facilities, and the possibility of their diversion from other important activities where they're already thinly spread. I believe we should go to the moon. Achievements in space should have made clear to us all, as did the Sputnik in 1957, the impact of this adventure on the minds of men everywhere who are attempting to make a determination of which road they should take. Our efforts in space have been under review. Now it is time to take longer strides. Space is open to us now, and our eagerness to share its meaning is not governed by the efforts of others. We go into space.
Omniverse is the totality of all the universes, and you are welcome to be citizens of the Omniverse.
Summerall was true to his philosophy about having someone who didn't know nothing, totally unadulterated, just had a zeal to play, and didn't know that Ra can get me to do the impossible. He had me doing the impossible because I was ignorant and didn't know nothing. And that was my forte, ignorance. Ra wanted somebody who didn't know nothing, who just had spirit. And therefore, he can put me right next to people who did know something and had everything. And because he wanted to be true to his philosophy of having people who knew sit next to people who didn't know, and the good next to the bad, you know, the ugly as part of the beauty, is to be the total, his omniverse. You can't be, everything can't be all beautiful, can't be all ugly. It's got to have all the elements in order to be complete. So Ra had all those elements in his music. He had the good, the bad, and the ugly. He was an equal opportunity employer to all of them. Trying to be another one of beings and create alternate destinies for y'all. There's an alternate destiny for y'all if you want to take it.
This is the creator's universe. This is the creator's music, and this is the creator's band. It belongs to the creator.
We're on Spaceship Earth, destination unknown. Sun Ra was the captain of spaceship.
Music is a part of the educational levels of the universal form of everything. Music is what you could call a other level.
The type of music they play, you know, to me, it's still, I look at it as African American classical music. But they do it a little different. This is part of America with African roots.
We never did. We just a little speck of a speck of a speck of a speck. Just spot. Just spot. Are you spot this? Are you spot this? Right there. Next time to us.
And what I think happens to people when they come in the environment of live music, they're touched, their spirits. Things are touched by the energy of the sounds or the projection of this live music. And it's just like you eat a popsicle. It melts when it goes in your mouth. That sound melts inside of their minds, inside of their bodies. Something that might be blocked, it transcends to open it. It's a healing factor. Mu, M-U, the Egyptians call it, was a spirit.
Do you want one way around here? Sign up for Outer Space Waves Incorporated.
Shame, don't shine,
Music pulsing like a living heartbeat, pleasant intuition of better things to come. The sight of boundless space, reaching ever outward as if in search of itself. Imagination is a magic carpet upon which we may soar to distant lands and climes and even go beyond the moon to any planet in the sky. If we came from nowhere here, why can't we go somewhere there?
A lot of roads come back to rock, man. Even doo-wop, the kids in Europe claiming him to be the father of punk rock. Rod's pageantry and his electronicness, he was always futuristic. Everything he was doing was always ahead of people. He was with the factories was with him on designing of those keyboards because they was getting his insight on the sound and it was consulting with him. He made you force visions out of your head and moving pictures for the ear, visions that you can't even imagine. They came through his music. You astral travel, you went places, unknown places, through his music and his drama. He even put the visual cosmos drama. You talking about Jupiter. If we'd never been to Jupiter, then the musicians who are trying to convey the story of Jupiter, of what Jupiter means to them, or what impressions Jupiter's made to them, to you musically. Since Jupiter's unfamiliar, then the music should be unfamiliar. It shouldn't sound like anything you're familiar with. It should sound foreign, strange, unknown, mysterious, and all the things that Jupiter reflects to us as people. It's Ra was able to do that with his subjects, and you couldn't always do that with the linear approach.
The attributes of ignorance deserve consideration. Ignorance, an exalted state among men, abides. Thus ignorance is said to be bliss. The equation, ignorance equals bliss, deserves due consideration.
We have to understand culture, appreciate it, and all of us can grow from everybody's culture. But first you have to stop your ignorance. And your ignorance is what you think, and what you believe, and what you think you know. And the Creator says, to know nothing, because I'm the Creator, the Supreme Being, I know all.
A lot of people don't even know what these instruments are. and with technology, with these machines and things, soon in the way musicians is going to be phased out. Now I can remember Sun Ra talking about it. Like now, they got drum machines. They got, they got all kinds of things. Sometimes I bring out other mouthpieces and let little kids blow through it. So they can see what it is.
I went to see, they had a jazz festival at the African American Museum. And I went to go see the Clef Club Big Band to see a guy, Harold Watkins. And then I stuck around and saw the Sun Ra Orchestra came. They came on next. And when I saw them, I knew that's where I needed to be.
Contact I have with the band, the more of appreciation I developed for what Sun Ra and what the orchestra was all about. My own research, a lot of the conclusions that I had come to, Sun Ra had already been there before me. So I was like, I knew this was a place where I could get information and continue, in my own development. So it was sort of a natural sort of thing that I found myself, you know, in the midst of the orchestra.
I mean, what is it like working with Marshall as a director? Right?
It's great. It's always that element of surprise with him.
Right.
You know? And things can happen like that. You know, he can point to say, which means you solo. You don't know when he's going to do that. When you see that, you got to react. You know, it's a challenge.
Marshall hand writes parts, constantly changing parts. It was not that we're just, Marshall just goes and buys a score or gets a score and passes it out and we go down and, I mean, we actually break it down.
What's going to happen to the kids that really want to know the music? They're not going to have it because it's going to be mediocrity, man. And this man is in his 80s. And when is his just due coming?
So, you know, in a lot of ways, he's the alter ego of somebody. They're both Geminis, and Geminis is the sign of the twins. And it says a lot, you know, that Marshall is still here on the planet. It says a lot to his staying ability and his ability to negotiate and survive, you know, these changes. You know, music and life are synonymous. So if you're not making the changes, it's time for you to regroup and leave the planet for a while. Marshall's still here. You know what I mean? So that says a lot about him as a survivor.
Sun Ra did enough for us. We have learned from him. Now it's Marshall Allen chapter of Sun Ra's orchestra, and he's doing a lot of composing. And you can't hardly tell the difference between the style, between the compositions, because the styles are very similar because he's been under Ra for so long. And he's the only one who really knows how to tell you what Ra meant with these notes, with this music. So if you play his music without that, you won't really have his music. You just have the notes, the nuances, the feeling, the attitude, the spirit, all that comes from people's interpretation.
Yesterdays and tomorrow are different when they exist in their own spheres, but when every tomorrow is the same as every yesterday, then that every tomorrow is not the real tomorrow, because it is only a copy of all the yesterdays gone by.
Like any species, what's gone is gone. The dinosaurs are gone. And all the other great creatures are gone. And the other creatures that we admire so much, their life is threatened. And ours is the same. And once this music is gone, once we're not here to do it, you know, you have to just research the history of it. But the final chapter is being written now. And I think people should rally and help Marshall do what he's doing because he's the last of his type. There's not too many musicians, human beings I know that are selfless, that are willing to give you the shirt off their back to help you become a better person and become a better human being and a better musician, and to teach and to share what he's learned over the years, the things you can't get from universities.
bring the sunshine, and the people follow. Some procession. So we're bringing the music out to the people, and the people are they're getting in the circle of fire, and they're in there, and you're in there, and bringing you right in there.
And believe it or not, you know, people in the audience, they can feel that energy, feel that spiritual energy, you know, circling around, or that, you know, zigzagging. They'll feel that energy.
Like when the guys playing the horn go out in the audience and they start marching, grooving and stuff. I see the audience just like fall right in, man. Some of them start marching behind them, you know.
Ra had moving orchestrations. He would have the band. He would send horns around. And they couldn't just walk around. People looked at them, so they danced and they made it look. They became the music. They dressed the music. But their reason for moving around was to create it for the listener a sound of moving orchestrations. Like you hear when you hear a parade coming, kind of gets louder and it goes. That sensation. Well, Ra used that too. And he tried to do it with all the senses, you know.
Sometimes, like with the dancers, you know, and the costumes, I think that helps pull the people in, you know, to listen better. You know, a lot of people like a visual thing, you know, but if you give them both, you know,